You do Excel. I do Google Sheets. So this
Mm-hmm.
could be a throwdown. This could be a fight. We've never met each
Ooh,
other before this.
that's true. Anything could happen.
We're here with another episode of Sheet Talking. Today we're talking to Ben Currier of Excel Exposure. Last time we talked to Prolific Oak Tree, but I would say Ben rivals Adam on prolificness. Ben has been working on Excel Exposure since 2013. He's also a financial wizard himself, getting fired from 6 jobs, and he will tell you that that is a big success of his being the failure guy, as we'll talk about a little bit here. He runs a podcast called The Failure Guy. Check that out too. Check out Excel Exposure. I'm looking forward to this casual conversation with Ben about Excel. Let's see if we get into a fight. Do you talk about spreadsheets with other people?
I try not to as much as possible, but if I do, it's funny because people will go like, "Oh, I use Google Sheets," and they get all like weird as if I'm a Microsoft employee. I don't care what you use. You can use anything you want. I thought Excel would be gone by this point. Like
You
when I
thought
started
everybody
12 years
converted.
ago. Yeah, I thought, well, whatever. The next thing would come along.
Mhm.
Airtable, whatever the thing is.
Airtable, Notion, Google
Tableau.
Sheets, Rows, Spreadsheet.com,
Yeah.
Coda.
The only thing I saw was I was working in finance, corporate finance and accounting, and no matter where I went, it was PCs and it was Excel. So, and I had one Excel class in all of undergrad and in my master's in business, one Excel class. I was like, this is all I do now? 99% of my job is Excel? You didn't tell me any of that? Come on.
But that's most people, right? Most people, they end up working in spreadsheets. So what
But they don't
made
know
you,
it's a big trick. It's a bamboozle. They don't tell you that. They don't teach you it. That's why we have to do it.
this is the stuff they don't teach you about sheets in school.
Yeah. It's crazy. I had like an access class and well, I learned more about access, I think.
What is
And
access? Is that
it's like a database thing, like joining, I'm gonna do a terrible job explaining it. So I'm just gonna pretend like just everyone pretend like I did a good job explaining what the access is, but it's like a
database? Fine.
SQL database querying thing. People
Great.
know. Either you know or you don't know, and that's how it is.
I mean, I
But so
started.
I'm not what I wanted to say is I'm not an Excel purist.
Mhm.
I'll use Google Sheets for some stuff, but I just know everything about how it works in Excel. And I don't always know what it's gonna do when I
Mhm.
go to the Sheetville.
That's
Okay.
like exactly me, but reverse it, vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
I started in Excel. I started VBA. I learned Excel VBA, and then I switched jobs and careers, and then ended up in a company that used Google Sheets. So I was like, I guess I learned this now.
It's funny. It's how it is, like tribal knowledge handed down from job site to job site kind of thing. Like you get an old model from someone else and you kind of take it apart.
Yeah, except I was the one. Okay, so how I started was in Google Sheets and Google Script after being in Excel and VB and Excel VBA for like I was doing it for like 2 or 3 years. The company I started with, literally the first day, someone was complaining about the Google Sheets. One person had been using them had created a sheet 6 months before, had used it every day for 6 months, and then like 8 people started using it on like in one day. And this one person had to like teach 8 people how to use their sheet. And like this is a very common thing in offices. You have your sheet, you know how it works, and you have to tell people how do they work in it. But
Mm-hmm.
nobody listened, and this person got irate and was like just mad. And I was like, well, I know Excel VBA. I wonder if
Mm-hmm.
there's a Google version of this. Oh, yeah, there is. Hey, let me help you out. And just the things that you were asking people to do, can we just make them one click? They can do it in one click. And like 2 weeks later, I think I wrote one script. I think I wrote one line of Google script in 2 weeks. And then my boss was like, we need to use this right away. And then from that day forward, I was the Google Sheet guy in that office for 5 years.
So what was the job you were doing? Like what were the sheets being used for?
So the sheets were okay. So the company was a broadcast television network,
Mm-hmm.
like 24 hours television on broadcast television.
Back when people used to watch TV.
Not back. This is 10 years ago.
Okay.
After people had
Back when
stopped
people
watching
were
TV.
stopping. Okay.
What was on the channel was brand new, never existed before. And then after I got hired, and 30 days later, we launched a 24-hour broadcast channel, and it was 100% YouTube videos.
Okay.
We licensed YouTube videos and edited them and put them together and on a broadcast television network. We ended up in 4 years creating 4 broadcast channels. It actually still exists in the US one. Still exists. It's only like 5 years later, called TBD. You can go to tbd.com. We created that.
Awesome. So wait, was your sheets just to like keep track of the playlist, like the
Everything.
like whatever random stuff about the details of the shows?
Everything. We captured so we licensed content from YouTubers. We kept about 15,000 YouTube channels data in a Google Sheet. We licensed like 2,500 over the course of 4 years while I was there. We kept the licensing information. We kept the data on each channel in a sheet. We also kept all the programming, and the producers and the editors worked in Google Sheets to produce the stuff that went on air that we edited.
Mhm.
And then we also finally we had a Google Sheet that ran the actual programming hour by hour. So everything
Wow.
from raw video channels and videos we found online, all the way through licensing, all the way through playing. And then even past that, from playing, we paid, at the time we were paying $1 per play to YouTubers.
Yeah.
So I had to keep track every month of what played when and add it up and then base it, and then also compile that for per creator and per license to pay them.
So it seems like, so I'll tell my story in a second, but similarly, we both were like, oh no, everything runs on this. And we're the only ones who know how it works. And if anything goes wrong, we're the ones who are the idiots. Or we're like, we need to be like bulletproof with these things. So I worked so I'll just go to my brief history of like, I started an internship.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, here, read Excel 2003 for dummies, the whole book, and then we'll talk. And so I was like, okay, this is easy for a job. Like, I'll just read it. I hate reading, but for a job, not so bad. And I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Like, why didn't I learn any of this stuff? And then he was like, now I'll show you all my crazy tricks. And I'm like, you can name a range, you can do all this other stuff. I'm like, what the hell? And then I was like, this is amazing. So then every time I went so I started out, I went to undergrad in accounting, and I got an MBA, but I started at KPMG. By the way, failure. I've been fired from every job I've had since graduating college, which is 6 for 6. So number 1 was KPMG, where I was an auditor, which sucked because you're like, you don't want to be there. They don't want you there. Yeah. Why am I there? I don't want to be there. So it says, don't be an auditor, especially if you're like an extrovert, you want to talk to people. But eventually I worked at Harmonix. The company made Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Made the original Guitar Hero 1, 2, rocks the 80s, and then they split from Activision, and then MTV Games bought them. Then they made Rock Band 1. Activision did the Guitar Hero thing, and then I came in because I was number like 300 in the world for Rock Band drums, playing them. I went to play test for Rock Band.
Rock Band player.
Yep. And then I went to play test because it would happen to me in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is where I was living at the time, but I grew up in Salem, but was working in Boston. So I was like, oh, I'll just go play test for the new game before it comes out. And then I brought my resume, and I just like, by the way, if you need any finance people or whatever. And then they did bring me on. And then all of a sudden I was ordering absolutely every single component part of all the Rock Band drums.
Wow.
Microphones. We bought like 8 million drumsticks. All of a sudden, the really light ones. No one has that. You have to go to everybody and their mother to get drumsticks. And all of a sudden, we couldn't ship the whole thing because we need like 50-cent drumsticks, but nobody has all that much wood carved up into little light drumsticks, so they couldn't be very heavy ones. So there's all sorts of weird things. We were keeping this all in a PO log in Excel. I'm like, this is like $700 million in purchasing is what it ended up being. And I'm like, I'm doing all this basically on my own, trying to figure out Nintendo Wii chipsets going into the stuff with also PS4 or whatever, PS3, whatever it was at the time, the PlayStation, Sony, geez, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. And then we also do the royalties, like you were saying, the licensing stuff. Every song, there's 3,000 songs of Rock Band. When we sold one song of Aerosmith, maybe like half the money went to the master royalty owner, and someone had the other publishing rights and all this other stuff. So it was like, and Nintendo would literally, they were like maybe 10% of our sales, but they would print out a 400-page PDF and then scan it. And then the names of the things that they sold were like just where it was on the hard drive. It wasn't even the name of the song or anything. So we were just like, okay, we'll just estimate all of that because we have no idea how to, we can't OCR it. And also, we have no idea what any of this means. So we just like take the PlayStation and Microsoft and just apply it to Nintendo because you think they'd have their stuff together in a Japanese company, but they basically did the screw you, you're the IRS, and we want you to not be able to get this info kind of thing.
My God.
So there was also stuff like that where I was like, okay, this is like serious dollar bills going on. And I don't want to be the one who's to blame just because my macro is terrible or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think over time I realized, well, I learned most from my mistakes. So like, after presenting a big, I would do 3 to 5 year forward looking financial forecast type stuff, which is like, yeah, I'm not a psychic, but okay, I'll pretend to be a psychic if you want me to be. And here's all the rules of what this psychic tale is. And this is but you got to go sell it. You got to go do the stuff. Because once it's in the budget, you're like, oh, we're fine. It's done. No, you got to do it. I just made this up. I literally made this up, but all the math hopefully works. But then like I'd present it and then
made up.
like,
Well, it's made up financials 5 years ahead.
it's projected based
You
on
make it
like
up,
if
they
you
make it
sold
up.
this many per month at this much money for and minus the cost of goods sold, etc. But it's still future forecasting, fortune telling as far as I'm concerned. We could tweak this stuff, but no one ever wanted to take the liability of like being the one who said, I always put all these levers and things I could move it up and down. They never touched it all. I'm like, whatever. So I make it amazing, and then they didn't touch it. They just be like, hey, can you make it do this? And I'm like, okay, I should stop making all the interactiveness because they didn't touch it, and it was a big pain in the ass. But then I would just try to make it like basically so that I couldn't mess it up, and I did mess it. I did a big presentation, and then afterwards I was like, oh no, I don't think I factored in depreciation from basically my P&L to my balance sheet. I was like $2 million off for the presentation that I was giving. So I was like, next day I had to go in and be like, okay, so even though it's fictional future money, it's $2 million lower now. Nothing happened except for the math was wrong. So I was like, I really got to make sure I make it so that there's no way to have errors in this thing. So literally every dollar amount of every cell, P&L, balance sheet, cash flow, I'd have it like frozen on one sheet and then live values and then the difference. And if there's no difference, I know nothing in this whole thing changed. If anything changed, it would just show me the variance and then stuff would highlight. So I just go, is anything different? Because literally you could just accidentally click something and then all of a sudden you see stuff go through. Or if you do change something, you want to see payroll change, but nothing else. And then you see payroll change and sales change. You're like, well, sales shouldn't be impacted. Like you could start making sure what you're doing made sense. But it was really stressful being like just the only person who knew what was going on with like a black box of stuff. So just like you're saying, with all this stuff running on the broadcasting network, and who knows if it's ways to fact check your own stuff. I'm sure we each came up with different like error checking, error proofing methods.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Hopefully. I don't remember putting any error fixing.
Maybe you're less error prone than me.
No, we just didn't find them. I mean, also it was like well, there was no auditing, right? So like we're not we got
there's
to
no
a
source,
point,
right, to see.
Yeah. And in contracts, there was literally a no audit clause. They could not audit us. And what would they audit? They couldn't
Your own
audit
thing, yeah.
the data. They could only audit like the invoice we created. We got into a weird thing because we created the amount of money we needed to pay someone. We knew we would pay them. But because of accounting practices, you can't just pay someone. You have to have an invoice in order to pay someone. So we would tell people, this is how much we owe you. You create an invoice, send it to us, and then we'll pay you.
Yeah.
I thought that was so
they'd
stupid.
audit their own process. They'd send you, it would obviously match. because you
Yeah, it
told them
would
what to tell you.
100% of the time it would.
Unless they messed up, didn't
Yeah,
put in what you said.
so like what at the end of the day, even if they wanted an audit, they would audit their own invoice they sent us.
Yeah,
That
the only thing you could do is look at the process maybe, but then you just say whether or not there's faults in it. But yeah, it's weird when you're so what is strange for me, I worked in healthcare as well.
Mhm.
You can have absolutely every piece of information possible. If you bill in the US an insurance company $80,000 for treatment, it doesn't matter if it's the exact same thing as last time, the exact same CPT codes, which is what they are, everything. You don't know if they're gonna pay 80 grand, $0, 40 grand, 60 grand, what they paid last time, what they paid never. You had no idea. So I'm like, I can know what we billed them and I can't know what we're gonna get. That's insanity. How is the person paying this bill, aka the patient, ever gonna know what they're gonna owe? We don't even know as a company what we're gonna get paid from. So like the insurance company world, the health
What are you
insurance
doing
company.
now in healthcare?
No, this is one of the many 6 jobs that I've gotten
One of
fired
the
from. So there are all these different industries. So I've worked in the video game industry, public accounting, diamond jewelry, um, real estate, chemical company that primarily dealt with the marijuana industry. So it was all chemicals that weren't marijuana, but for like to make edibles or for to make, like chemicals sold to marijuana companies. So we weren't able to get the right bank loans and stuff because we were still marijuana adjacent or whatever you want to say, even though we didn't touch anything with weed. It was just all chemicals that were sold to those companies for, extraction, stuff like that. So, and then what was there? One more?
That's a
Yeah,
lot of
there's
stuff.
one more. Health insurance. Yeah. So
But
it
through
would
it
always
all,
be trying to
it's
figure out new
all
things.
Excel.
Exactly. So if there's a spreadsheet, I want it to be less boring than last time or a new thing. So if I learn real estate or whatever, it's still going to be Excel. But when it's like more tangible or has more of a benefit versus just rich people trading money, it's all going to be eventually numbers in a spreadsheet. I would at least want it to be like something cool, like a video game company where all the people who work there are cool.
But why don't you
Oh,
just make a video game inside of a Google sheet, inside of an Excel sheet?
That's what I'm doing now with my new thing, which I'm going to be trying to do. So it's not really an escape room. It's more like not a murder mystery, more like just a crime mystery because I want it to be palatable to like 13 plus. So it can't be scary. It can't, because I even had to go through all this COPPA training, child online protection things, just in case I wanted to, because I don't know who would want to do a game in Excel where it's like a story with AI generated art of escape rooms and stuff like that. But like basically you're in a room, there's a gridded wall, you got to solve this thing, and we teach how to use Excel in order to solve it rather than some invoicing issue or whatever the boring thing that I'm used to teaching is. Because I was like, how do I make it fun? Plus, I'm doing a lot of mid-journey AI artwork. I just hit 20,000 images yesterday, I think, which is just a lot of doing that. So I've been generating tons of little escape roomy type of things, or like board game pieces, or like art that could be related to. Right now, my main line quest is the Queen's diamonds have been stolen. So I feel like that's relatively tame.
Yeah.
Versus an escape room where you could be trapped. But then you can you come up with a sum formula to sum up some things, and then maybe the answer brings them to a time machine that takes them to another planet. I mean, you can do anything with AI art. So like, it's really weaving the storytelling piece with the training because I'm just so bored teaching Excel the same old way. I'm trying to figure out how to make it better.
Well, you do the same thing that I do, which is you have a lot of free resources and you have paid resources, right?
Mostly free. I don't really even, I'm like, by the way, there's this paid stuff, but I barely even tell you. For the first 8 years, it was all free. I paid there was no ads. There's no way to pay me, and I had to pay to teach it. And then there's like maybe 4 million people or something that visit my site over that time. I was like, I really should probably monetize this. Also, it's decreasing now, so I definitely should have done it earlier. But you get the point. So I'm not like
what makes you not want to charge? Because I've gone through this process myself of like not charging or charging too low. I sell my course at a lifetime deal, and I'm only now.
Well, that's because we're AppSumo heads, I think, is what it is, right? You must be if you're in there. So how much have you spent on AppSumo? Do you know?
How much have I spent, or how much have I
How
made?
much have you spent?
Oh, I
I
bought
have
like
no
2 or
idea how much
3
I
things.
made.
I've only bought
I've
like 3
spent
things.
like 12 grand at least on AppSumo myself.
Oh
So
yeah.
I
Oh my
probably got
God.
180 different
Everything's like
SaaS
under
tools,
50 bucks. How can you spend 12 grand? That's a lot of,
180 tools or something like that.
oh
Some of
my
them
God.
I fully stacked, like my podcasting thing,
Oh
but
yeah, you
whatever.
can stack stuff. Yeah.
Lifetime deals, I'm an addict. It's like forever. Sure, I paid that much, but it was like over time. It was over many
Yeah. I
years, and
mean,
also it's forever.
I've only bought like
Restream was one of
Brain
them.
Brain FM like in 2016 or something. I bought it.
Yeah.
And then
See,
since
so
then
you
I
know,
like one
Brain
or two.
FM. It's pretty dope. That like some of the stuff I got. Like, this thing I don't use called Marpipe. It's like $3,000 a month or something like that. Now I'm like,
Wow.
well, I paid $69 one time, so that feels good, even though I don't use it.
Oh, sorry. I also pay for I. It's so funny. AppSumo sells lifetime deals, but they also sell their yearly plus membership. So I
Yeah.
think I paid like $99 a year for that.
So they used to have Briefcase, if you know what
Yeah,
that was. It was like a quarterly, and I had like 5 accounts at least simultaneously because it was like if I was going to spend money on there anyways,
it
why
automatically
not?
gave you like 10% off. Plus, when was it like you had the briefcase plus you had a membership, so you could get
Yeah.
10% plus 10% off.
So what they did was every quarter you'd spend $150, but you get $200 in credit.
Ah.
So it'd be like I'd save $50 times however many accounts per quarter if I was going to spend it anyways because I was a weirdo.
Mhm.
But so I think the reason to your main point of why didn't we charge money or why were we so scared to charge money? I think first of all we started teaching people out of necessity, not for money. So I think
Mhm.
part of it for me was like, dude, is my way of teaching useful to people? Is it
Mhm.
worth paying for? Am I any good at it, or should I get better at it first, then charge? But also, so mine started as a part of University of Reddit, which is no longer a thing. But at the time, they were like, not Reddit officially, but like ureddit.com, which is now defunct. And then everybody's email stopped working all of a sudden one day for that. But basically, there was like no Excel course. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll teach the Excel course, but I'm going to put it on my own site so I don't have to deal with. It was probably just a pain in the ass to put it on theirs, but then I didn't realize it would be what saved me. But so it started out as a free thing because all those were free, and then I don't know. I just don't really like putting anything in the way of people watching stuff. So it's like an ad. I'm like, it's I'm gonna lose some people here. And if I'm working like a full-time job where I'm getting more money, then I could justify like thinking about making it a side thing. I
Mhm.
didn't really want to monetize it because like for me, creativity and money, when you turn a hobby into a jobby, it just becomes less creative, less fulfilling. Even my podcast has nothing to do with Excel. It's about failure. There's no overlap between the two markets. I start monetizing my Excel thing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a podcast completely unrelated to it and not even put an ad on it for my Excel site for
Mhm.
like the first 30 episodes, and then I'll put something at the end of it. It's like the stupidest way to do anything in terms of monetization, but
It's a good hobby.
I want to like know what I got before I start to put money into it. Because once money gets involved, it gets weird. My creativity gets weirder and like stunted. Because I think just I've had so many weird relationships with money growing up, and also working with money. I would joke that I don't like to take my job home with me, so I didn't financially plan my own life. That's why you might spend 12 grand on AppSumo, for example, or whatever. Uh, and I could get away with it by saying, well, I'm tapped out on finances by the time I get home. I don't want to think about it, but
Yeah.
it's really just because when it's someone else's money, it's easy to tell them what to do. When it's my money, I'm like, oh, I could do anything I want,
I can do anything I want.
which is
But that's
not
funny.
good
You don't bring
advice.
your work home with you.
Yeah. So I did all the free training, and then did you have like I basically feel like I had two versions of my thing, which is like all the free stuff I did at the beginning, which is like Excel 2010, and then I was like, eventually this is getting outdated. So when I did my paid thing, it was like in the newest version. I guess Google Sheets was always online, and it would just
Yeah, there's
get
never a
different.
second version. It's just a new UI or not even new UI. It's like incremental changes.
Mhm.
So where I made a 4 video course for AppScript to like just get people started on learning AppScript. And I think a year later they changed the UI, but they didn't actually change the UI. They just changed where the button was from tools app script to extensions app script, and it confused the hell out of people. Literally,
Doesn't
people were
suck.
like, "I
Whoever made
cannot
that
take
one
this part."
choice, whoever was like, I really would like it to be here, like at Google, who actually decided to where the things go. There's probably like an argument at the
Yeah,
office.
some
No, it
product
should be
manager.
under extensions. It should be under tools or whatever. And then your whole life is made worse over the fact that
But it
one of
wasn't
them
made
won.
worse because they didn't change the fundamental things that I said. It's just that
But
one entry, but it screwed people up. They were like, beyond belief. They were like, I can't use this course because I don't know where to go. I'm like, did you not just like figure it out?
it cannot.
One thing,
Nope.
like the course is fine. It's still it's just principles. It's just like the idea of coding. Just get to the place. And I made like the fundamental mistake of just not re-recording the videos for another year. It's just like because the fundamental stuff is the same. Why would I redo it
Well,
if
we
like
know that, but people are
one
like,
UI difference?
people want the simple. People don't even want to be in it. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
like Excel, people are bored. Like when I say the word, they're like halfway asleep in the middle of the word. I'm like, come on, let's. Are we gonna get excited here? I'm not. I don't know if I can do it, but we can all do it. But I think the thing is like the more difficult it is. So like I recently worked with a company. After I started working with them, I realized they were all on Macs, and I'm like, uh oh, I don't really know anything about how this works with a Mac. So then half the time I'm training them, I'm like, can you just show me your screen and I'll try to figure out where that option is? Because unlike Google Sheets, the Mac and PC versions of Excel are like wildly different. And also I don't even know how to use a Mac really, to be honest. So I was like, oh, are you saying like conditional formatting? All these things were not even in the same place, even remotely. So I just tell people if they have a Mac, like don't buy the course probably. But also once I like start teaching them, I'm like, damn, this is like crazy different.
That happened to me too. So you're talking about you're creating your Excel escape room and game. I created escape spreadsheet hell, which is
Oh yeah, I
just
saw that at the top of your LinkedIn thing. It
yeah,
looks cool.
it's just 3 levels. You can do the whole thing in 5 to 10 minutes, and it
Hmm.
just teaches you 3 keyboard shortcuts. It teaches you 3 keyboard shortcuts for Macs, and I just didn't
Okay.
reference at all PCs in any way. And literally, people are complaining, how to do this? How can I do this? What this doesn't work for me. I'm like, yeah, sorry. So I only like after 6 months or something did I add like for Macs only, like because I was like, oh,
Um,
sorry.
doesn't it suck that like most of the time people reach out when they have a problem and not to say, hey, this is amazing. What you're doing is
I
fantastic.
get
They're
it
like,
all.
but what are you mostly? I mean, at least in
I
my experience, the loudest people are the ones who, and I don't even like
no.
interact that much with the people who buy my course, but like, I guess the point is until I did a giveaway where I was like, hey, can you just give like me feedback on what this did for you? It doesn't have to be a review. I'm just saying like email me anything
Mhm.
about whether you liked it or not. And then there's like a Logitech craft keyboard thing that I was giving away with. It had like a little dial that it had some Excel functionality. It was not good. I mean, like it was not useful to have a whole knobby just to control certain Excel features and stuff. But either way, they gave it to me to try out, and I gave some away as like a thing. And I was like, just say something about how it's impacted you, because so many people don't interact with the creators in any way. But usually, if they have a problem, they will more likely do that than if they've enjoyed it.
Mm.
I feel like, well, maybe you're just getting lucky. Maybe I just suck at doing what I'm doing, but also maybe you're just get lucky and have people reach out and say
No, I don't think
good
it's
things.
luck. I mean, I actively ask every member email me anytime. But I
Yeah, don't do that.
also I did one thing different, I think, than you did, which fundamentally has changed everything about my business, is that when I start better, so I do give away a lot of stuff for free. I have videos on YouTube, I have free templates, free sheets. I give a lot of webinars for free. But fundamentally, if you want to become a member, you have to pay.
I've bought on AppSumo better sheets. I've
Yeah.
bought your course. So meaning, and I have your email. I got an email today about Open AI or whatever the hell you sent.
Mhm.
So like meaning I do get your stuff, but also I don't really do much Google Sheets stuff, except for I keep my whole AppSumo list of things I bought in Google Sheets, which is funny. It's like one of
The
the
second
main use
person that said
cases of
that.
it. Really?
Yeah, someone else who joined one of my workshops last year. He was like he was trying to come up with like a sheet to sell, and then half like we were chatting, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I have all of my AppSumo uh buys in this Google sheet, and like it's really useful." And I want to add this one thing. And I was like, "Oh, I helped him with like add one thing to it." And he's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
someone else wants this." I was like, "You should just sell this on AppSumo. People are asking for it." He literally like shared it in some group, and someone was like, "Oh, can I use that too?" Like people buy a ton of stuff on AppSumo and need to keep track of it.
Yep, better sheets.
Yeah.
So I just want to see. So I've got software name. It's got the link to
So
AppSumo. It says Google Sheets training,
so
and
fundamentally
it's a
though,
Gumroad. Is that what it was?
yeah, I sold through Gumroad used to, yeah.
$19. How about that? Whatever that
Yeah,
is.
I started at $19. No, I actually didn't start at $19. When I launched it on April 3rd, 2020, it was $30. A bunch of
Mhm.
not a bunch of people, like 13 people bought it that um in a month. And then when I went to AppSumo, because AppSumo was a deal place, I had to give a deal, so I lowered it to 19. But then I had already made like some I'm gonna say like 50 videos, I think, in a month or two.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh, I'll just charge a dollar per, just under a dollar per video. So I increased the price to $49, but on AppSumo I lowered it to 19 because it had to be a deal, I thought.
Yeah.
Um, and
My
so
course is
yeah,
in AppSumo too.
thousands of
I don't
people
try to
bought it
tell
at
people
$19.
because
Sorry.
I'm sure just like you maybe struggle with whether or not you want to tell people that your stuff's in. Because my course, I'm pretty sure is still on AppSumo. And
Oh,
it's funny, I say pretty sure because obviously it's not selling that much if I don't know, but
mhm.
I don't direct people there because it's obviously much cheaper, but I still do the lifetime deal thing. My site, just like you do, right?
Yeah, but
So I'm
I
wondering if
direct
that's an
everyone to
AppSumo
AppSumo
mindset or if you did the lifetime deal thing before you even heard about it through AppSumo. Because that's the reason probably why I did a lifetime deal.
because of AppSumo.
Because I bought so much AppSumo. So, yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, if it gets me to buy so much stuff, maybe it'll work for somebody else rather than a subscription because I have both subscription and lifetime, but the subscription's like a third or a fourth of the lifetime. So it's like,
Yeah, and only now recently have I been really gung ho on increasing the price because I've been full time on it now for a while, and just like I want to keep I want both the motivation to increase the price, but I also want the price to motivate me to make more. So I make more tools, make more things. I want to increase the price, and then when I increase the price, I want to make more things to like make it valuable.
okay, this is interesting because so when I was making my course, in order to get myself to actually make the thing, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it away for $50 and I'm going to go up to 200 when it's launched. So if the longer I take to launch all the videos, the longer people are getting the cheaper deal. So the sooner I finish this thing, the sooner it goes up to the full price because then the whole course will be launched. But as I was building, I'm like, hey, it's $50 now because it's not done even yet. So, you'll be seeing it as it's made. And I'm like, it would at least try to motivate me to be done with it so that I could sell it for the higher price or trying to trick myself to be productive. And also, it's tough because money's not a big motivator for me, even though I'm like, just because I think for so long working in corporate finance and like all the money that's involved, I'm just like,
Money's all
can
around
we,
you.
can we just forget about money forever?
No, my landlord doesn't want to forget about money.
Yeah,
When I go
unfortunately,
to
no
the
one else
grocery
does.
store, they don't forget about money.
Yeah, I've
There are
begged them.
certain grocery stores that forget about money. You absolutely can. That's like actually
Yeah,
sort of part of my motivation is like, why not risk it all? Like, why not do something weird, crazy, fun, interesting? Because like there is a social construct that we can always fall down to a pretty high level. Like we're not
yeah.
destitute. We're not living. I mean, I've been traveling and been in third world countries, which do have much, much lower statuses that you can fall down to.
Standard
Also,
living
you
or
have
whatever you want
friends,
to call it.
family, there's a lot of privilege
Yeah,
that we can have. So like,
yeah. It's funny because no, I didn't even tell anybody that I was fired from my jobs, even myself, honestly, until the fifth one. Because in interviews, they wouldn't say we fired this guy. They'd say he worked from here to here, and this is how much he got. So I could come up with whatever fictional tale that I'd be telling them, and then I would also be telling myself in the same moment. And then after the fifth one, I was like, man, these are all, let me think about it. Yep. All one person firings, or I think KPMG, they asked me to resign or some stupid stuff. But either way, basically, they were like, you can't work here anymore. And you're the one person that we're talking this to at this moment. So see you later. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should like figure out what's going on and why. Because what I would do is not get good at the corporate politics, just get better at the software. So I'm like, I just keep getting better at the software. I'll skirt my way around all the red tape and all the
No, you don't have
backstabby
to deal with
stuff.
the red tape. I mean, with
But
Excel exposure, you can just be the corporate.
well, yeah, but before I was recording them. The first videos I was recording after hours at work on like a little tiny headset. I hear
Yeah.
like the ambulance go by in the background and stuff. So there's all sorts of terrible, things with what I was doing, but I was just trying to figure it out. But uh, for me, it was like trying to. So do you have this similar thing where you have to forget what you know, and then try to figure out how you tell yourself if you didn't know it? Like you have amnesia, and then figure out how you teach that to somebody. Because then I had like a first round of it where I just like taught random stuff in random order, didn't really plan it all out. And then my newest course, I have a cheat code, CODE, and like each one is a thing, part of a module. But the E is like the error proofing and the explanation you were saying earlier, when like that person had to bring 8 people into their spreadsheet. No one knows what's going on, but you're living and breathing in your spreadsheet. So you're like, well, duh, you just go here and do this or whatever. And you really have to figure out how to explain it to someone else because they don't know. They're looking at it like for the first
Oh,
time.
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to figure it out, so I don't. I just keep doing it. So I realize this is a weird good thing in recent. I only recently figured this out. Is like I will just do something and I'll push it out and publish it, even if it's quote unquote not finished. Whereas a lot of people will have that analysis paralysis. Like you said, it has to be done and then I can put it out.
Like
For you,
perfectionism type of thing. Yeah.
right?
Like perfectionism. You're saying you
Yeah,
got the
but
ship it mode.
you call it perfectionism, but it's not actually perfect. You
Yes.
call it that as an excuse. It's so weird. It's like it needs to be perfect. So, but it'll never be perfect. So you'll never be able to put it out.
Yeah.
And
It just takes you a bunch of times. For me, it took me a bunch of times realizing, okay, I'm never going to do it right. But
yeah.
I try to even teach when I teach my first thing, I don't even go into Excel. I'm just like conceptually talking about everything. I'll use GPS roadmaps, all sorts of weird examples of a puzzle with no picture on it, all sorts of things that have nothing to do with Excel. They don't want to lose everybody immediately in the Excel. I'm like, I can do like an
Oh, but
hour
then
long.
this is a
Go
weird
ahead.
tangent, but what might
Yeah, let's
happen
go.
is you might have people leaving because they don't know if it's Excel or not. I had this problem myself is I would try to go to like a whiteboard and try to explain something, but I would lose people because they're like, I just want the sheets problem solved. I don't want
Yeah.
a whiteboard. Like I have a four quote unquote video course about dashboards that I could do just audio only because it's like a concepts of dashboards. And I
Yeah.
lost a ton of people because I was like, this is great information. Like, this is what the concept you need to have when you go and make every single dashboard. Your dashboards will be better after you watch this, undoubtedly. But it doesn't click to them that it's about Google Sheets because they don't see it.
Yeah. So what my thing was, idiotically, I was doing a lot of this is pre-COVID in-person networking. And so I was like, I'll do a thing at the Microsoft store at the mall and I'll tell everyone and their mother about it for like a month and a half. And I thought I did enough promoting of it. Day of the thing, one person shows up, and then one Microsoft employee from the store sits. So I have 2 people that I teach for this whole time of me planning this whole big thing, so who knows if it got to them anyways, but at least it was only 2 people. And I hired a video guy to come videotape me teaching 2 people. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
But I
that's
was like,
happened.
come on.
You
And
just
then I'm
got to
like, why
keep
am I doing
going.
this? I got all these people online. Why am I even in person? Why am I even trying this?
No,
But I
I
had to
love it in
like,
person. That's my background
me
is
too.
theater and improv, and I love in person because like it's actually one person audiences are way tougher than like 50 people. I can stand in front of 50 people and talk all day. It is so hard for me to stand in front of one person and give them this
Imagine
like
promoting it for a month and a half and then not realizing it's going to be one person, and then it's one person and an employee. I'm like,
that's much harder.
I
And
did so much networking.
this is the crazy thing about that is if you can sit in front of one person and do as well of a job of like communicating to them what you're trying, like one, information transfer, but two, like transformational, like
Mhm.
uh it's not just like, hey, I know this and I'm going to tell you this like a lecture, but like explain it to them and have them involved, then you are going to be an amazing on-camera person, because a camera is only
Mhm.
one person, right? The camera, you have to put all your energy right into the camera, but a theater, you can express broadcast, basically. It's
No, I
different.
think so. My thing was before COVID, I didn't have a beard, so I was never on camera. Basically, all my stuff is like screen recordings because
Mhm.
the beard was the trick. Anybody out there who wants to be at all good, you can see we both have beards. So clearly it's 100% success rate with the two of us that if you at least grow a beard, man,
Gives you
woman, doesn't
power.
matter, put a beard on. And then I'm pretty sure it's like a protective shield. Now I
Power
feel like I
beard.
could go on video, like Power BI, but Power Beard, right?
Yeah.
And then basically now I feel like I could go on video. Before I looked like Mr. Clean without the muscles, and it wasn't working for me. And so now with the beard, I feel like a different person. I could do more things, but in my old one, there's maybe like a picture of me in a slide, but there's no me. I was like, who cares who I am? I'm just teaching them Excel. Why do they give
You know who cares? I don't know if you found this out.
everybody?
I totally walked into this backwards, but I use Loom to record my videos where I have a little video of myself in there. People
Yeah, I
will
still haven't done that.
people tell me that that is so helpful, because if it's just a screen recording, it's so easy to turn it off. But if it's someone's face, they really
Hmm.
feel much more connected to it. And people have told me that they ask me questions while watching a video of mine. And then
So
I've
I'm
found
gonna, but
myself.
I already know I have to go through and basically do it. So either I'm pretending to do it, or that's gonna be way harder than just doing it
No, just do it
again.
in a Loom. Just do it because it's a
I'm
screen.
saying it's already done, so I'm not gonna like
Just do it again.
mime.
Doesn't it's a
I know
Loom
that's what I'm saying
recording.
is I'm gonna just do it again. Is all I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. But that's just such a pain in the ass, just so that I'm there in the corner. But I know I agree. It's something that's important.
But
It just seems ridiculous.
people tell me this, but then it happened to me too. I didn't
Uh-huh.
believe them until it happened to me. So I'll ask members, just email me anytime, and then somebody will email me of like paragraphs, and I'm like, can you just show me in a Loom video, like 1 minute Loom video? Just show me around your sheet, tell me what you're doing. People will do that. I'll watch the Loom video and I'll start answering them as if we're on a call. And I'm like, oh, oh Jesus. I'm like
You're talking to
alone and I get
yourself.
scared.
Yeah. I don't know. I never thought so back in the day when I started. I don't know. When did you start?
Yeah, I
2020?
started the Better Sheets at 2020, April 2020.
So I was like 2012. And
Mhm.
again, I went 8 years without monetizing. So we probably monetized around the same time. But I was like,
Mhm.
when I started, it was basically like people who were rambling too much about their life story and not teaching enough of the stuff. And so I was just like, mine's gonna be just get down to the thing.
Mhm.
Also, who cares if it's me? But also, no offense to anyone in India, that like most of the videos were like some Indian dude slowly talking through the video and saying a lot about his life story.
Mhm.
That was a lot of the competition I had back then. So I was like, I'm just gonna make something that to me is a way to teach this one thing, whether it's a beginner's introduction or like whatever, some kind of
Mhm.
like shortcut cheat sheet type of thing. But then um I realized I gotta put more structure to it, but now I realize I gotta be in all of these stupid things in order for it to be more accessible. Meaning I
Yes and
feel like
no. I mean, there's so many
no, I
faceless
do. I
YouTubers.
do. But they're
Um,
not as good. You were just saying you were well, so like when you watch a video to learn, like when I have to learn like how to record a video or whatever, and I'm looking at an Adobe Audition thing for podcasting, I'm like looking at how they're teaching me and whether I like it or not. Do you do
yeah,
the same thing when you're trying to digest info?
there's so many ways to do it, man. I mean, there's just unlimited ways to teach. Um,
What's your favorite way to learn though?
well, I mean, it's such a weird way to I learn. I learn if well, here, speaking of great Indians, I learned everything from Labnol. Did you ever watch Labnol videos or read Labnol blogs?
Lebanon? Nope.
He runs digitalinspiration.com now, but it's still labnol, labnol.org. That
Um,
guy is the best ever.
Digital
Um,
inspiration, was that the wallpapers?
no, digital
What was that
inspiration. He
one?
has a bunch of Google Sheet add-ons
Digital
now.
blasphemy. Did you ever use that? That's what I'm thinking of.
Blasphemy.
Digital blasphemy was like a wallpaper site with like 3D wallpapers.
Nah.
Forget about it. Let's go back to the thing you were talking about, Labnol and digital inspiration. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what I did is how I learned everything that I know now. I learned by like I had this other problem. I had a thing that I needed to do, and it just so happened to be done in Google Sheets, and it just so happened we were working in AppScript. Like, oh, AppScript was the answer to this other problem. It wasn't like I'm learning AppScript, and now I go find all this stuff about AppScript. I have a problem, and I have to solve that problem.
Here's how dumb my thing is. So, by the way, about your thing, never did it, never learned it. And then yesterday I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to this guy Andrew who does this Google Sheets thing. Talking to my other friend who's just a programmer type of guy. I'm like, there's no macros, right? That's what my understanding was. There's no macros. He's like, there are. I'm like, is that an asterisk on that? Yes, because like, is it not VBA? If it's not VBA, then it's not really a yes. It's more like it's a yes, but you got to learn this whole other thing that isn't the thing you know. You can probably figure out how to translate it, but I was like, is it VBA in a? Is it the same thing? If I took my macro and pasted it into Google, probably it's a no. So my point was, for every other regular person who doesn't really even know what a macro is, that's a huge difference between functionality. So I'm like, I've always just thought they don't have macros. So when you talk about all this AppScript stuff, is more about how to get at like macros to work in Google
No,
Sheets, but
macros.
just a different, like
So
it's like
macros.
JavaScript or something, right?
So exactly. So there's macros, which is just recording your actions.
Yeah.
But when you record your actions and you record a macro, it writes it in AppScript, which is similar to Excel VBA. It's not.
Oh, I thought it was more like JavaScript.
Well, no, it's a same concept of it's a programming language inside of Excel, programming language inside Google Sheets. But yes, Google Sheets AppScript is based in JavaScript. It used to be like an older version of JavaScript. So as JavaScript was getting
Okay,
better
so I
and
was
better,
probably getting outdated info from my friend.
yeah, it was
Whenever he
getting
learned
better.
it, but it was
Now
never
you can
like
use all JavaScript in almost every JavaScript you can use in Google AppScript.
Gotcha. So you're saying basically, I mean, because I know for the most part, as far as I know, Google Sheets tried to mimic the functionality of Excel so that at least when you upload a workbook and stuff, it'll still work the way you'd think, except for probably macros is where I ran into the issue because it wouldn't translate that for you.
I'm sure someone has made a VBA to JavaScript translate because at least I know like Ruby on Rails and I'm doing like templating of like HTML and there's like ERB and there's Slim and then there's a bunch of converters that just convert one to the other that you just pop in and get it out. I don't know.
The point is, it's like high level
made.
thinking. We're talking about stuff that like only we would think about because I usually don't need to be. If I'm gonna do something, I'll be in Excel, you'll be in Sheets, we'll be in our own little worlds. And then I don't know when those worlds collide, but it's usually probably when it needs to be very shareable. That's when I go to Sheets.
No,
If I'm really simplifying it because I don't know when I should go to Sheets. You could
I
probably
want to tell you my biggest pet peeve of running a Google Sheets business.
Please.
Is people will ask me a question and they will not say in my sheet, they'll say in Excel. They'll ask me, a Google Sheets person who teaches Google Sheets, a question about Excel. And then I read the whole question or like it's happened on like a couple of webinars. So it's live. They're like, oh, in Excel, you do this or my Excel sheet, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know Excel. I mean, it's spreadsheets.
Yeah. Just like I said, I don't know Google Sheets. I mean, I could figure it out, but if we're talking about Google Sheets, it's a whole different thing to me.
I ask them, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't know if I can answer your question because you're asking about Excel. And they're like, no, it's Google Sheets. I just said Excel, like as if it was like a Kleenex versus
like
tissue.
Xerox, that type of thing. Yeah,
exactly, a Xerox versus copier thing.
So that must be frustrating. I never get the opposite version where they say
100%
in Google Sheets.
There's no way you can get the opposite. There's no way someone will say
like the name
Excel when they mean Excel.
A great value brand Kleenex or whatever tissue. Yeah, no one does the other way around. But I just want to say one thing that I learned because I don't know if you know this. I imagine you don't because you're not a big Excel guy. I didn't know it until maybe a year or two ago. And I was like, this is the first thing I learned in a while that like was like, whoa, that's new stuff for me. So when they went from XLS to XLSX, I had no idea what the hell the point of that was. I don't know if you know what the point of that was, but apparently that was when they went from a proprietary thing. XLS was like their own Microsoft thing that no one knew how behind the curtain how it worked. And then we went to XLSX. It became all XML format so that anyone else could open it up in. You don't have to open it up in Excel. You can actually build an Excel spreadsheet in XML without ever touching Excel, and someone can open it up in Excel. I know someone who makes a thing that does that, like exports things. And I'm like, how'd you build this? There's no formatting and stuff. And he's like, oh, I did it in XML. I'm like, what are you talking about? What is happening? What do you mean? You didn't even open Excel? He's like, no, you just do all this other stuff. I'm like, what? So then I was like, my head was exploding, and I'm like, okay, I don't even want to think about all this. But I just thought it was an annoying file name change. I didn't know there's a whole underlying structural thing where like it was basically like going from closed source to open source with the way that you could like poke under the hood, you know?
But that's why that makes sense then why a Google Sheet can be exported or downloaded as a XLSX. So it's just an XML file.
Is it only that?
Yeah, it's just
Can you do this
it must be
XLS?
I think you can also download it as an XLS too.
I don't know.
But here's a weird thing that a lot of people get in mixed up with, and it hurts.
There's no XLS as I can see when you say download.
If you do, okay, so at the end of the URL, you can do /export.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
Question mark format equals. I think you can do both XLS and XLSX.
But I was wondering if they could recreate the XLS if it was a proprietary. I was wondering if they couldn't actually make those based on what I just said, but who knows? Because I'm like translating from someone who knows way more than I do.
But here's a weird thing that happens. So Excel files you can drop into Google Drive, and then you can open it in Google Sheets. But this messes up a lot of people because what they'll do is they'll open it up as an Excel file in Google Sheets, and it'll say like at the top, it'll have a little icon that says like Excel XLSX, and then they can't use Google Sheets functions like share or like
you have to import, right? Is that what you gotta do?
You
have to import.
You just have to open. You just have to convert it to a G Sheet file, but it like the way that Google does it, it makes it so easy to drop in a file and open it as an Excel file in Google Sheets. So it looks like it should act like it should be a Google Sheet, but you have to do
it's like a shell or something on top kind of thing.
So annoying because I get these questions all the time. Like I'll get a screenshot of a sheet and they're like, this button is grayed out, I can't use it. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and it took me so long to figure out, oh, it's in it because they'll take a screenshot only of the little area. They won't show the file name with the Excel thing. There'll be a ton of context that it is an Excel file. Oh, I dropped it in a sheet. They'll never say any of that. They'll just like,
of course, yeah. It's amazing how much people don't think about how hard it is to explain or understand an issue or whatever, unless you get like, especially when you have deep knowledge like we do, when we're like trying to figure out, okay, it might be 8 different things that are wrong. Let me see which one it is. And then they're like, didn't tell you the dumb thing that is totally unrelated to all those 8 things. And you're like, oh, it's like a basic thing from the beginning. Like, it's really hard to know how people are going to come at you with a problem. Or even like when I was making like an intake form at the health insurance place for people to input stuff. You don't think they're going to put text into a number field. Why would you think they put text into a number field? You'd never think that, but of course they're going to, and then it breaks.
Yeah.
I just had to break and say, go talk to Ben because it broke. And then I make a thing that doesn't break that way. And then I give them a new version, but it's like, you can't predict on all the ways people are going to break things unless they start doing it. So like, even when they come with troubleshooting problems, it's like they explain it poorly or they just don't give you all the info. So it can be tough when you don't know like what version of something they're in. For me, not for you.
I like it because of a couple of things. It's job security. One, it's like, here's this AI revolution coming in. You can ask a ChatGPT any question you want, and it'll give you an answer. But the answer is based on the question you give it. So like, if somebody goes to ChatGPT and asks a question they ask me, ChatGPT will literally not ask follow-up questions. They will literally not know what context to ask for.
Yeah.
But maybe AI will get better at that. Maybe AI will have topical AI, like sort of thinking.
I've seen that in ChatGPT myself, or at least because like if you tell it different things, pretend you're a stand-up comedian with 30 years of experience, it will then take on that persona and it will not budge as much from that as if you told it you're a business development manager for 30 years. I've heard people say 500 years of experience. I don't know what that does when you say like 500 years of experience in something that's only 10 years old.
You're right. It'll give it a context to stay within. Yeah. But think about this is like the second part of this thing that I like these crazy questions, like the crazier the better, is it gives my mind like a gap to fill or like an
the edge case where you can figure out that weird thing that makes it click.
Yeah, and then I had this. Okay, here's an actual example, so I don't have to talk in circles. Someone asked me, they're like, I've hired freelancers or like VAs or something, and what they're doing with my sheets is they keep adding more tabs and renaming them. And then when I get back the sheet, it like the data that they're supposed to do is on the wrong tab, or it's a name sheet that I don't know, and I don't want them to be able to do that. And so I was like, okay, that seems like a very specific issue. Like, first off, you should just have like the first instruction to your VA: do not add another tab. Second instruction: do not rename any tabs. Third, protect the cell. Like there's things already that exist that you can protect these things, but or don't give them edit access to the sheet. Get the information through a form. There's so many other things. But this guy,
most people don't do a documentation thing. They just they give it to them and then talk to them about it or whatever.
Yeah. But I was like so interested in this one weird case in the video that I even made, because I made it for members to be like, here's this weird thing that someone's doing. I literally said it like, I don't know why you would need to do this, but here's how you would do it. And I wrote an app script that if you added a tab, it would delete it immediately if it was not on a list of like whitelisted
approved tabs. That's cool.
So you could add a tab. You could go through the machinations, add a tab, rename it, but if it's named differently, it would delete it than what's on this like list of tabs that are predetermined.
Do you know Jordan Goldmeyer at all?
Never heard the name.
He's an Excel guy. Okay, I had him on my podcast, but I saw him doing this thing on LinkedIn one day where he's just like, I'm going to spend 15 minutes live solving some random VBA problem where they wanted a button to scroll with the scroll bar. Like as he scrolls down, the button scrolls with it. And I'm like, I don't even know what I was like semi-interested with the first bit of it. And I was like, well, I'm never going to need this, so I'm not going to watch it. But I think that idea of like solving something that has no use to you, but to try to flex the muscle of your brain to figure out how could I solve this thing? What are the like parameters that I can use to make sure that it works for these people going forward? Like your solution was a whitelist label of approved sheets, which I don't know if it references like if they change the name of a sheet, if it updates to a
I ran
whitelist.
into that. If you change the name of the sheet, it immediately deletes it. I was like, oh, probably you don't want.
That's my point. I can already think through, just like we were doing, like some of the weird things that'll happen. Like what happens when they do this or that? But then it's good because you just get more ideas for how to handle a problem differently. I think a lot of people just don't like problem solving in that way.
Well, I literally made a video where I talk about how like this, I don't know where you would use this thing. I don't know why you would ever use this, but like, here's what you would do it. And then a week later, maybe even less than a week later, I wanted to do a new project and I used exactly that. I was like, oh, I can use that.
Here's a trick.
Now.
I've got a little tool in my toolbox. Yeah.
Oh my God. It immediately became useful, but like useful in like a very joking way. I have like a thing coming out, a thing that I'm going to release. I don't want to say it yet because it's a surprise.
Surprise thing.
A surprise thing. And it needed this like to be able to delete a tab. Basically, I figured out a way, a reason for you never to have to add tabs to a sheet. It's so stupid.
It's good though. I know. I mean, I've done the same thing. So here's one example. I spent a whole night when I worked for the Rockman company. They wouldn't let me do it at work. I was like, every time you change anything in this whole model, I'm going to go up to date a 52-page PowerPoint with all the new numbers every time. No matter what, I can't not have to spend 4 hours copying and pasting ranges. into PowerPoint. So I spent all night long making the VBA macro that went through a list of slides and had the area where the thing was, the named range that it would copy. I had to learn how to PowerPoint VBA worked. That I could then bring it in there and put it in there. I remember I stayed up a whole Sunday night. I didn't sleep at all. I went to work the next day. And the next day I came in and I was like, okay, every time they ask me to update anything, I'm going to tell them it's 4 hours. I hit my 10-minute macro and then I screw off for 3 hours and 50 minutes because there's no chance I'm going to do it on my own. If you want me to automate this on work time, once I do, it's still going to be whatever you think it was forever, because that's the thing I learned mostly is like, you don't get to keep the time you save. It's 40 hours a week, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, even if your boss who's paid more takes him 7 hours, they give it to you, make it take 15 minutes. They're going to give you 6 hours and 45 minutes worth of stuff, even though they were paying someone else more money to do 7 hours worth of it. It's like, there's no logic there because they don't understand the complexity or like how difficult a lot of it is. But I've been fired from a lot of jobs and they'd be like, can you train the next person on your model at least? And they're like, this is amazing. Why did they fire you? I'm like, I don't know, but this is the model. And sometimes they'd be like, this is the best project we've ever seen. But at the same time, like, I don't know, maybe I just can't handle like moronic leadership that doesn't do what I'm like, come on, I'm not going to do this manually every day when we could fix it. And they're like, no, just do it manually. And
That's
like,
what happened to me. So early on, I thought I would save people time because I was like writing app script. I had a bunch of best practices.
Yeah.
When I created better sheets, I was like, oh, here's a bunch of stuff you can do to make things easier, faster. But I had to stop saying that because I was like, exactly what you said. If you save 8 hours out of your 9-hour day, or you save 5 hours out of your 8-hour day, you're not getting that time back. Like, you're just gonna go work more.
Do more work, basically.
But I also thought, instead of doing more work, you do different work. So that's what ended up happening with me, is like the kinds of jobs that I started getting as I was doing more with Sheets was like more systems work, more systems aggregating data. Instead of like doing the data thing, I was like sort of abstracted a level or two above that. And then I was able to do more. That was much more interesting work than, okay, we got to fill this out. So I stopped actually saying save time, save stuff, like and made it more like make more money or do different,
less pain.
Yeah, less painful. I do a lot more aesthetics now in Sheets just to make the time you're spending in Sheets better, instead of saying we're going to spend less time. Like so
I see the way I do it is dumb because no corporation wants to back up what I say, which is keep the time you save.
Right.
And that's why I'm like in the top 600 comment karma for Reddit of all Redditors, because I would take the time instead of doing another Google Sheet or whatever you said you'd do. I would just be on Reddit commenting on things or whatever. And so I've got over 1 million karma on Reddit, which is useless. Can't be cashed in anywhere for anything, but at least it was more enjoyable for me to do, like to figure out how to game that system. I don't know. I like getting good at something, realizing I can get really good at it, like Rock Band drums or whatever the thing is. Or I did Bob Ross painting, oil paintings and stuff. I was trying to listen to it to go to sleep. And then I was like, I could do all those things. I'm going to do that. And I started doing it, and I have a bunch of oil paintings, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to oil paint forever. So, and then I'll make a podcast. I just like doing something. I'm like, I do it till I get to the proficiency of I'm better than most anyone I know. And then I'm like, okay,
you're the best
something else
amongst the people you know. That's good.
I like to be a jack of all trades, though. I don't want to. I got the ADHD, so I want to like do something else usually. So that's why I like with the Excel thing, I'm like, how do I make something else? That's what I'm going to try to do, kind of like you were doing with the game thing, but now incorporate my mid-journey art thing into it, because I can build any story I want, or I can make the art for any story I want. So we'll see.
I mean, bringing art inside of Excel is fantastic. I mean, anything you can do to spruce up a sheet is like fantastic, right?
Make it fun. I mean, I say I'm doing the impossible, making Excel fun, and I don't think I'm doing it yet, but I want to make it fun. And I've got a whole class of like students who are helping in Canada work on it.
Hey, before we go, one, I wanted to thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
But two, are you an A1 or a B2 kind of guy?
What's that mean?
Where do you start your sheet?
Oh, well, what do we mean by start a sheet? Okay, what am I doing with the
Where do
sheet?
you start when you type in a Excel sheet? Where do you start? A1 or B2?
Depends. Am I gonna have a column header in a row?
Mm-hmm.
It would depend on what it is. What I'm gonna say, I'm an A1, I guess, person, unless there's a definite column header that's gonna happen and row things.
But you put
Yeah, I'm
that
gonna start
header.
at A1 until I know that what we're doing is outside of there. Are you a B2 person? Is that what I'm?
Like I'm
I feel like only a
90%
B2 person would ever ask that question. Because like, why would
A1
you
people
ask
are
that
like,
question?
you anarchists over in B2.
Uh, so, but like I'm looking at the thing, my AppSumo thing, which
Mhm.
happens to start at F, but because it's got a bunch of hidden like
What?
collapsed columns. Well, yeah, I
You're
don't even know what's on the left there, but
what row? F, you're in the F column. What row does it start on? Like
so
23?
okay, I put a bunch of little filters to the left for like different people who are going to use it and filter to the ones that they might use these programs for.
Mhm.
So like I've got like my friend Dan. These are just filters to the left. It was not a great implementation of it. But the point was I was an F2. I was really a G2 guy in this one, but I
Jesus.
didn't start there. I started A1 like a normal person, and then I
Got
meander over to wherever I need to be, which is apparently G2.
wow.
But so you start on B2, and then what? What do you put in
I,
in
I need the room.
B1?
I need the
Oh, you
padding.
need space.
I
You
need
just
the
feel
like
cramped.
yeah, I gotta
Okay, so I
feel
think I know what you mean because I kind of do. If I have anything that's like gonna be a great like a box, I don't want the box to be at the edge. So if it's gonna be a box, it'd be B2 because I want to see the box in
but it's very
a
much in the
box.
financial services accounting is very much about A1. I can see that. Like that's
Mm.
you want to save space. You don't want to have the padding. You want to make sure you're starting here and you go down. I understand
I'm
the
kind of in
A1.
between. I could see either one. I could see G2 being a thing, you know?
You're gonna be a G2 person. All right. Well, I'll mark you down as G2 then.
Yes.
Um, and then what's your favorite formula?
Oh, favorite?
Yeah, just fun, the one that hits you in the feels.
Favorite? Okay. I think it's gonna be it's not even I don't know if it's a formula. I don't even think it's a formula. I would just say a direct comparison, which is
Direct
like
comparison. Mhm.
equals, pick a cell, equals another cell. And it'll be true or false if they are equal to each other. That
That's
was the
sweet.
one that saved me for the when it was the variance one.
Mhm.
Like, does this cell equal this cell? You can instead of saying like are they the same kind of formula? You just go equals A1 equals B2. And
Mhm.
if those two are the same, it'd be true. If it's false,
So even if they have like white space difference, if it's text different, it'll say false.
you can try. I don't know. I have no idea. Let me see. So I'm gonna look at these two different
You
things right here.
you
It
just
equals
know that there's a
this.
difference, right?
It's my favorite one, of course. It's not even formula, but
Right, it's an
so
equal sign. Double equal
but
sign.
equals that. I'm trying to find two that actually equal each other, just to make sure I'm not lying when I'm in sheets because I'm in sheets land now. Okay, here we go. True. Okay, good. Yeah. So that works. It's
And
not
then
a
if you
formula.
add a white space, it'll be false
If you had a white space where
or a space bar. In one of them, it'll
what?
be false.
It's like in my example, it'd be like equals L2 equals L4.
Yeah, so an L2 add a space and it should be false, right?
So you call it white space when you're in a formula?
No,
Doesn't it just be a
L2.
space?
And I mean, it does text as well comparison. So if like the
Oh
word,
yeah, yeah.
the
I'd
word,
trim it.
yeah.
I'd trim it and stuff like that. And
Oh
like
yeah,
proper
trim.
and all that other stuff. I would just get it so there's no chance because there's spaces at the end. People are ridiculous. You never know where a space is gonna pop in. So I would just do
That's
the clean, trim, nest
so
a
in
few of
Excel
those
it's clean.
together.
In
I
Google Sheets
forget. I mean,
it's trim.
there's a few different ones. There's clean, there's trim, there's proper. There's all the ones. So I would usually try to
Proper.
make it all the same. If there's a capitalization
Yeah,
issue, sometimes I'll just do lower, you
yeah.
know, whatever it is that I think I need in the moment. But usually I'd get rid of all the spaces, which I think is
That's good.
trim.
That
That
is
seems
good
like it's
practice.
trim.
That happens a lot to me. Someone will be like, these two things aren't the same. And it'll be like some
Yeah.
trailing white space. And I'm like,
Or like zip codes are the worst. If there's
oh
a zero at the front and stuff, there's all sorts of one. And then you can do the apostrophe. Is that working? Google Sheets? Yeah, right.
yep. Apostrophe, and
But
you
if you
can do
type,
apostrophe equal sign so you can see the formula in it.
yeah. Do you have a control tab where you can go to formula auditing mode and
I
see
don't think
basically
so.
it
Might be
translates
a
everything
Windows
into
thing too, not
formulas?
a Sheets thing. It might be a
Let me see.
PC thing.
Oh yeah, it just changed tabs on me. But on Excel, you can like basically just flip it so it shows all the formulas or all
Oh,
the
you can
results.
do that in Sheets. I never learned what it. There's a
Gotcha.
way. I don't know what it is though.
Anyways, that was the longest answer to the thing, and I didn't even give you a formula, but I like that. I'm gonna pick that. I'll be G2 and I'll be equals a
That's
direct
cool.
comparison between them because I just like the stuff that's you wouldn't think to or ampersand instead of concatenate.
Yeah.
I'm all about the ampersand instead of concatenate. If there's an A1 B2 question that I would ask is do you use concatenate or do you use an ampersand, which is the and symbol?
Love it. Yeah.
And I'm all about the and symbol because why would you not? Why would you want to write concatenate? It's so long.
I
For something that's
literally still
supposed to
don't know how to
shorten
spell.
things, it's the longest name. Like abbreviation is such a long name for
And in
abbreviating
Sheets,
things.
there's concat, which is even like crazier because concat is a shortened version of concatenate. So
Does it do the same thing though? Yeah.
it only does two values.
Oh, that's so stupid.
It's crazy. It's because
Yeah,
it's
just
always
use the
there.
ampersand, everybody.
It's also always the first one available because like you're trying to spell concatenate. You can never remember how to spell concatenate, so you just start typing
Hmm.
concat, and it's there. So people who are
Oh, and if
fast
you hit
trying,
tab or something
yeah,
to
and then it's
populate
only
it.
two values. Like of all the things you want to do, how do you know you only want to concatenate two values? Why would you ever want to concatenate only two
Why would
values?
you want a more limited version of it? That's
Right?
it's a shorter name that you might get confused by.
Like
That
there
doesn't make
must
any
be
sense.
someone somewhere
Is it
that's
to
like,
save
this
space
is
on a thing or
yeah.
computing power? I have no idea what would be the point, but
It
I
must.
guess
My theory is that it was a formula added before they had the autocomplete. So someone must have been messing up concatenate or didn't know how to spell concatenate and kept saying concat and only wanting to do. And so they're like, okay, let's just give this person their whole formula. Because there's no other formulas that are like a long word, and then there's a shortened version of that word that you can also do. Like all of the other formulas are just that thing.
yeah, because they're not usually that long of a name. But
Right.
is there? So there's a secret one in Excel.
Mm-hmm.
I say secret. Oh, it shows up in okay, in Google Sheets it shows up date diff.
Mm-hmm. Let's take that.
That's
It's two
date diff. It's
days are
just
different.
the difference between two dates, and then you can put like M for months or Y for years. But in Excel, they retired it, so it still works, but they don't show it. It doesn't show. But I'm like, this is a secret formula. I'm like,
Wow.
don't you all want to know this? No, no one wants to know it apparently. But but I was like, there's secret formulas. Like there's ones that like
Yeah,
aren't going to
it's
pop it, but
secret
it
because it's
shows
been
up in. I'm in Google Sheets right now, and it shows up as a formula. I was like, gonna see, and that was the start date, end date, and then unit, which is how it is in Excel. But in Excel, it won't tell you the syntax or anything like that.
hides it from you.
So who knows? But anyways, see, this is how weird stuff gets when you get deep into it. But I love that's what I like is like you can figure out the answer. That's why I like math. It's like there's an answer. English paper, no, there's not an answer like that you can
Yeah.
defend like entirely with your life. Like math is math. And I like that like no matter what corporate politics are going on, we can math it out and see who's right and come up with it. But I think that's part of the appeal of what a lot of this was to me because
Yeah,
I
it's more
can't
of an
really
art than a science.
yeah. But it's provable too. You
Mhm.
know, you can prove whether your thing works or doesn't work, even
Yeah.
if it's like a complicated programming thing. But either way, I appreciate you having me on here for this. I hope it's who else is there? I'm not gonna ask you who else is gonna be on it because that's a ridiculous question to ask. But I hope you have a lot of cool people on here because it seems like it'd be a weird thing. She talking? Is
Yeah,
that what
it's
it's
so
called?
weird. Hey, is there anything you want to say other than excelexposure.com? Is there anything else, anywhere else people should find you?
Yep. So I'm the world's number one failure, aka failure guy. So I have the Failure Guy podcast. I've had Carol Baskin from Tiger King, William Hung from American Idol, if you remember the She
Sweet.
Bangs thing. Some other folks who are various amounts of success, but it's all about the necessity of failure in succeeding. So get comfortable with failure and be your friend it won't feel good, but at least hopefully listening to other people's mistakes, maybe you can avoid making them yourself, or at least
That's
realize
failure
that to
guide.
become successful,
Mhm.
you have to be comfortable with failure and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Yes, the failure guy podcast.
Oh,
Anywhere you look, listen to podcasts, failure guy.
cool.
That'll be me.
Cool. Thanks so
Yeah.
much, Ben.
Thank you.
If you're looking for more sheet talking where we talk with sheet people about spreadsheets, watch this playlist here. You'll find plenty. And if you're looking for the next episode of anything from Better Sheets, check out the next video here or the last video from Better Sheets right here. Thanks for enjoying Better Sheets on YouTube and watching this episode of Sheet Talking.